Well, good morning again, everyone. This is Scott Tussle with Spire Wealth Planners. This is the second of our three meetings that I'm doing with Katherine Witherspoon Fry, who's an attorney at Offit Kurman. So in the interest of time, our contact information for both Katherine and myself was right at the end of the presentation. Again, because of the interest of time, this again is our second. So, make sure obviously you see the first, because there's great content in the first. But I want to let Katherine get right into this presentation. Again, we have one more of these we're going to be doing this week. I'm sure there will be others. With that, Katherine, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Scott. Let me see if I can share my screen. Yes, I'll share my screen. There we go. Okay, so yes, number 2 in this series of 3, navigating the new coronavirus laws. And I'm Katherine Fry. I'm with Offit Kurman, full service firm. I'm an employment specialist. So everybody knows now about the CARES Act. Everyone's heard about the CARES Act. It was enacted and immediately implemented March 27th. We're going to enable employers to meet expenses, including their payroll, and allow workers to collect unemployment if all else fails. Those are the goals of the act. So learn the law's requirements of benefits. Super important. The law is very, very, very long about how to maximize the payroll and how to maximize your forgiveness. That's where an employment lawyer comes in and can walk you through what you need to do employee-wise on how to make sure that you're going to get as much forgiveness as possible. Don't forget to document your expenses, all of your employees' health care, their payroll, their benefits, their everything like that counts. So document everything so that you make sure you can get your forgiveness. Keep separate accounts for your loans. Make sure that you have, we're recommending to have a separate account just for the Paycheck Protection Program loan, so that you can easily see the money coming out, easily track it. We don't want to double dip either. We don't want to do 2 things at once. We want to make sure we're paying only the payroll for only the specified period and only the payroll expenses for only the specified period. Everything has to be used within 8 weeks of the time that you get the funds, so it's got to be done the right way. It's got to be definitely documented. So a disclaimer about all of this is that implementing guidance hasn't been issued by the Small Business Administration on a lot of the questions raised. There was guidance and a final guidance issued April 15th, but a lot more is expected. So these opinions can change as guidance becomes available. Keep checking with your attorney who understands this and can read the statutes well and be able to give you good guidance on the updated guidance. It's super important because some of this language is quite vague and can be interpreted in a number of different ways, and you really, really want to make sure that the guidance spelled out by this SBA is what you're using. So as far as unemployment goes, a lot of people know a lot of stuff about PPP. I'll get into that in a minute, but less people know some of the nuances of unemployment and how it can help their employees. It increased availability of unemployment benefits, allowing workers to collect unemployment at their regular rate, what they would have collected, plus $600 a week through the week ending July 25th. And then after that, they can collect their regular unemployment benefits for an additional 26 weeks. So instead of layoff, consider reducing employees' hours because they're going to be entitled to part-time benefits. When you lose part of your hours, part of your employment, you're entitled to unemployment part-time benefits. And under these circumstances, they'll have no obligation to seek any other work. And there's no requirement to search for work while they're furloughed or working reduced hours. So they're going to get their regular part-time benefits. They're going to get $600 on top of that. And they're going to be able to work for you part-time. This is maximizing everything. This is the best way to do it. Normally, this is a question I keep getting. Normally, if furloughed workers are asked to return, and employees decline to return, they wouldn't be eligible for unemployment, but I'm not sure how that's going to happen now. We're not sure if the fear of returning to the workplace due to the frightened aspect of, I can't go back because I might get COVID-19, if that's going to be adequate reason to stay on unemployment. We do not know that yet. No answers. Don't try calling the unemployment office. You'll never get through. That's my one piece of professional advice as well. You're not going to get through. So to meet the payroll costs, the mortgage interest, rent, interest on other debt incurred prior to February 15th, and utility expenses are provisions available to you under the payroll and under the Paycheck Protection Program. And payroll costs include salary, commissions, leave payments for sick leave, state and local payroll taxes, healthcare retirement benefits, COBRA cost benefits, separation benefits. So if you want to let someone go and pay out their separation with the funds, that's okay too. Tips, and you just make an estimate of tips. If you a good estimate, a good faith estimate, you can use tips based on the last couple of months. The amount forgiven must be used in the first 8 weeks, as I said, after the receipt to meet the expenses. They're forgivable under certain conditions. So, but it's reduced by the decrease in the employee headcount, a reduction in employee pay level by more than 25% for someone who made under $100,000, use of more than 25% of the loan proceeds for payroll costs. This was really intended to keep people on the payroll. They don't want employers spending money on utilities and mortgage and rent using this money. Only 25% they've decided of the loan proceeds are available for those expenses. So your forgiveness is reduced by multiplying the loan amount, the amount you get, by the amount obtained, by dividing the average number of full-time equivalent employees you have now by the number you had. You can use either period, either February 15 to June 30 of 19, or the number you had from January 1 to February 29 of this year. So you pick the one that has the less number of employees, and basically you want to make sure you've got that number employed again by June 30th of 2020. It's a safe harbor. So if all the people are back on the payroll, are rehired, if you have the same number of full-time equivalent employees by June 30, that's the forgiveness would apply to you. You have that long to get it all in order, which is good because it gives people a chance to catch up and business to start up again. Full-time equivalent employees is something that your lawyer or your accountant can help you with. It does include part-time employees, and you just add them up. So the translation is, if you reduce your workforce, fail to rehire workers by June 30, cut their pay, portions of the loan won't be forgiven. As I spoke about before, calling employees back from furlough, what do you do if they refuse? You clarify that you won't be offering the work again. You can hire them back part-time. And if they make less than the regular unemployment benefit, they can keep the pay and the unemployment benefit. Tell them, remember, guys, the unemployment benefits return to normal after July 25. The maximum benefit in Delaware is $400 a week. It's really not enough to live on. So another piece of advice we're giving to employers, though, is don't over-focus on the forgiveness of the loan. So is keeping the employees on payroll or at the same rate of pay a good business decision? Might the company need the loan proceeds for other uses after the first 8-week period? The balance not forgiven is only a 1% annual percentage loan. It's payable in 2 years, and there's no prepayment penalty. This is a great deal. So if you can't maximize your forgiveness by using things within 8 weeks for the proper, allowable expenses, well, then you still have the loan at 1%, which is an excellent deal. So questions about any of this, please contact us. We're available to discuss any of it. Pick up the phone, free call with me, and happy to speak to you.
All right, Catherine, thank you again so much. That was, again, some really great information. Again, for folks getting this, of course, is going to be on my LinkedIn page. We're going to obviously share it in a lot of different social media outlets. I would encourage anybody that is, watching and or listening to please take advantage of Catherine's generosity as far as reaching out to her for a free consult. She has just a ton of wealth and knowledge in this area. And as we said, this is the second of three. We have one more that we'll be doing later on this week that has some great content. So you're going to want to definitely be on the lookout for that. Catherine, once again, I can't begin to thank you enough for taking your time. I know you're extremely busy. So again, I appreciate you taking some time to spend with us today.
You're so welcome. Take care now. Be safe.
All right. You too now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.